How the hell can a string be above average at everything? Hey guys, welcome to Sweet Spot. Today, I've got a very positive review for you, and it's about this string, the ReString 0. The first thing I'm going to get out of the way is just how pretty this string is. It's got this beautiful turquoise blue color to it, and it really stands out in this white and blue Bolt 98 Lite V1. I strung this up at 45 pounds in both the mains and crosses, mostly because I'm trying to experiment with lower tensions. The lower string tension is important to me because what I primarily look for from my strings and my racket is really good deep ball pocketing. And this entire channel so far, at least, is dedicated to me trying to find an ideal string setup that gives me that deep ball pocketing. And I'm quite happy to report that that lower 45-pound tension did play very well in my Bolt 98 Lite V1. Now, ReString's own website lists the string as having a perfect trifecta of good spin because of its shape nature, good snapback, and tension maintenance. And I found that to be very true, to be honest. I experienced all of these things in an above average manner, so if these three things are important to you, I would really encourage you to try the string. I think you'll be very, very happily surprised. The string is really meant and geared towards players who have a really attacking style of play because you get fantastic control, pinpoint accuracy, and an ability to direct the ball wherever you want to on the court. I really did find that the best tennis I played with this string was when I was looking to push into the court and finish the points up at the net. My favorite player of all time is Roger Federer, and what this string really let me do was to emulate his style of play. In my mind's eye, I had no trouble playing like him. I was Federer on the court. The strings that tend to have these kind of characteristics also tend to be kind of firm. And that kind of brings me to the only real con that I experienced with this string. The string is a bit firm, but it's not firm in an unpleasant way. You get lots of feedback on the string bed, and you kind of really know exactly where the ball is landing on your string bed. But I can imagine that if I played tennis every day of the week, I may experience some arm discomfort. I was never sore, but I had that lingering feeling in the back of my mind that if I played extensively with this string, I might develop some arm problems. In that sense, I think this string is really geared towards people who strike the ball really sweetly. They have possibly good technique, so really it's geared towards advanced players. If you're intermediate or beginner, and these are the kinds of things that you'd like to get out of your strings, I would really recommend trying to hybrid this string. I think this would be fantastic for any players that are at that intermediate, like 3.5, 4.0 level. I think it would be great for them in a hybrid setup. Now, one thing that's kind of counterintuitive is the fact that I mentioned that this string got above average ball pocketing. Normally, firm strings don't give good ball pocketing, but I was very surprised to have that come through. But there is a caveat to the kind of ball pocketing you experience with ReString 0. Give me a second. Now, I have these shoes from a company called Vivo Barefoot, and these shoes are barefoot shoes. They have no support to them, and what they really let you do is to feel the ground very, very precisely. You get a lot of biofeedback, and you tend to develop quite strong feet if you wear them for long enough, because the idea here is that your feet end up doing most of the work and you get no cushioning from, or no help from the shoe itself. Now, one thing I experienced with these shoes is that when I have gone for a walk outside on a concrete sidewalk, for example, and I come back and step onto the hardwood floors in my home, I immediately feel like I've stepped on a very plush carpet, which is weird because hardwood floors are hard by definition. And that's the best analogy I have for the kind of ball pocketing you get with ReString 0. But there's no two ways about it. The string is firm. You feel everything. And if your arm and your shoulders and your muscles and your elbow isn't strong enough, I think there's a chance you might hurt yourself in the long run. The other caveat about this deep ball pocketing is that it only comes through when you strike the ball hard enough. So if you're the kind of player that doesn't hit the ball very hard very often, I think you may experience the ball pocketing as just being average. Just a note about the spin. It's really good, far above average, but I still think strings like Solinko's Hyper G that have very, very sharp four sides tend to give more spin than what ReString 0 gave. ReString 0 is not bad, it's actually just maybe a hair less than Solenko Hyper-G, but it is less. But more than the spin, more than the ball pocketing, I think its most redeeming quality is predictability. That pleasant firmness that I've talked about gives amazing biofeedback, and it's like the string almost guides you to make clean contact. And what I found over time is the more I played with the string, the better I got with it and the better I felt about it. For me, this amazing combination of spin, ball pocketing, and predictability really came through on my serves. And I found that I could hit any serve, whether it was a kick serve, a slice serve, or especially flat serves really, really well, just because I was making amazing clean contact with the ball. So for me, the string journey is not quite over, but this really goes to the top of the list. I think for me, if I were to play with this, I would definitely hybrid it. So I guess the next thing is really to find a really slick, round poly to hybrid it with. I also want to say that this string comes in a completely biodegradable package, so that's something else that's going for this string. Okay, that's all I have. See you next week.